One time for my folks on the daily grind. Something special to relieve your mind.
Hey, it's Devin.
And Shannon.
And you're listening to the Youngblood Life.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Someday everything gonna go my way.
What is going on, everybody?
Hello, hello.
How are you, my dear?
Great.
I just want to kind of do a little bit of personal bragging right now.
Go for it.
I don't do this a lot.
Okay.
But it's the little things. It's the little victories.
Mm-hmm.
So, mid-February sometime,
Mm-hmm.
I weighed myself, and I was literally the fattest I have ever been. I know. You don't like it when I call myself fat, but I literally the heaviest I've ever been. And in the process, I've been riding my bike a lot.
Mm-hmm.
On average 3 to 5 times a week, because that's kind of what it is, 3 to 5 times a week. Been riding 3 to 5 times a week. I've been watching what I eat, and you can honestly have to say that I have been eating better.
You have.
I've not been eating a lot of crap. I've been eating good stuff. I've been eating real food. None of this garbage that you get at McDonald's and all this other stuff, which I rarely do McDonald's anyway.
Right.
I'm happy to say that I am now currently sitting at 244 pounds.
Which is good.
So look at me, fancy me, bragging about myself, little self-affirmations here. You can do it. It's the little things, Devin. You can do it. That's what she said.
You can do it.
I noticed that you didn't laugh at that. No. You did chuckle for a second, but...
Okay, I found it.
You find it?
I found it.
So, other than the normal crazy busy life, I struggle. I've been struggling lately.
Mm-hmm.
And my struggling has been on something that it's really more time management. And I think it's not that I don't manage my time well. It's that my time, I try to squeeze as much as I can in an hour and in a day.
Yes.
Like, today had some doctor appointments and things like that.
Uh-huh.
But then I also I built you a table, a desk.
Because I need one.
Yes, you do, because you got to start working from home.
Uh-huh.
So I built you a table. People can watch that video here soon, but that's later on. And then
People are probably going, what the heck is she doing?
What do you mean? Oh, what? Oh, Shannon's eating a grapefruit right now, and she's literally peeling. Why don't you just eat the skin?
Oh, the skin's so tart.
It makes with the grapefruit. Shannon peels her grapefruits and eat. Yeah. She peels a grapefruit.
But yes, you have crammed a lot of stuff into
Well, on
today.
top of that, into a day, and like even now, here I am. I'm sitting at a doing a podcast. It's currently 9 o'clock.
Because you just got done riding a bike for 45 minutes.
Yes, and
then you almost passed out.
Yes, I pushed myself very hard today, and that was good. As far as on the bike, I pushed myself really hard, because if you don't push yourself, you don't get what you need, right?
Yeah, I come downstairs, you're like, I didn't pass out.
Well, I got off the bike. I slowly lowered myself to the floor.
Yeah, Ethan's like, Dad's dead.
And then, yeah. And so there was that. So anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. I want to talk about the things that the one thing that you love the most.
You?
Yeah, now you're trying to cover that up, because I asked that question earlier and you said what you were going to talk about
Because I
first.
knew what you were talking about, but I love you more than anything.
So, people probably, people do think we're kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And because, our kids, time management for our kids. Oh, I forgot to talk about that. One my time management thing, I just started streaming gaming online.
Yes, you did.
Because I'm an old fart.
But you do that really late at night.
Well, sometimes, not all the time, but yeah. So I may do that later, but I don't know yet, because I've been trying to cram so much, and I need to get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, back to what we were saying.
Mm-hmm.
People think we're crazy because we have our kids do rugby.
A kid does rugby.
Well, we had kids.
Jacob does.
We had 2 kids that did
college
rugby. Correct. So you posted something on Facebook.
I did.
Which I thought was done really well.
It was.
And
because it's amazingly said.
I'm going to let you finish your grapefruit before.
Give me just 1 second.
Your fingers are going to be so sticky. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
If you don't watch the podcast, you on Spotify or YouTube, I'm sorry, but you get to see what Shannon's doing to this grapefruit. She's really destroying this grapefruit.
Yes, because it's really
Your
good.
your phone's gonna be like a 2-year-old touched it.
That's why we have spray for your glasses
so
and
gross.
in the little cloths.
So, I want you to read what you wrote here,
Okay.
and we're gonna break it down a little bit, and we're gonna talk about it.
Okay, just so you know, I didn't write all of this.
I know, but
Okay.
you wrote
For those, thank you.
you wrote part of it, and
Yes.
you copied part of it from
Yes.
a friend of yours, and
Because it's exactly what people need to know, and it's exactly how I feel, along with another friend of mine. So it says,
I mean, the rugby mom is strong with this one.
seriously.
All right.
Okay, it says, one of my friends asked, why do you pay so much money for your kids to do all their sports? Well, I have a confession to make. I don't pay for my kids to do sports. Personally, I could care less what sports they do. So if I'm paying for sports, what am I paying for? I pay for those moments when my kids become so tired they want to quit, but don't. I pay for those days when my kids come home from school and are too tired to go to their training, but they go anyway. I pay for my kids to learn to be disciplined, focused, and dedicated. I pay for my kids to learn to take care of their body and equipment. I pay for my kids to learn to work with others, to be good teammates, to be gracious in defeat and humble and succeed. I pay for my kids to learn to deal with disappointment when they don't get that placing or that title they hope for, but they still go back week after week giving their best shot. I pay for my kids to learn to make accomplishments and goals. I pay for my kids to respect not only themselves, but their athletes, officials, and coaches. I pay for my kids to learn that it takes hours and hours, years and years of hard work and practice to create a champion that succeeds, but not something that happens overnight. I pay for my kids to be proud of small achievements and work towards long-term goals. I pay for opportunities my kids have and will have to make lifelong friendships, create lifelong memories, and to be proud of their achievements as I am. I pay for my kids to be out on the field and in the gym instead of on front of a screen. I could go on, but in short, I don't pay for sports. I pay for the opportunities that my kids to provide them with development attributes that will serve them throughout their lives, give them opportunities to be blessed for with others. From what I've seen so far, I think it's a great investment.
So when I was a kid, my parents, we did sports and things like that, but that was mainly in school. Our kids' rugby is actually a what do you call it? A club sport.
It is, at least here.
Well, yeah, it's not a school sanctioned sport is what I'm getting at. So being that it's a club,
Fact, ready for this?
I'm reading. Oh, you
need to listen to this too.
Can
you hear me?
He can hear you.
From what I heard,
Logan's sitting in here too, by the way.
And I wasn't trying to eavesdrop, but Susan, a friend, was talking to another team mom. And our school that we play for, because it's not a school-sanctioned sport, took all the accomplishments out of the trophy, put them in the coach's room to make room for the sports that are sanctioned by the school to put their achievements in.
So what you're telling me is they pulled the non-school sanctioned sport, put it in the coach's room, and they took all the school sports and put that out.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense.
It does. But
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at that.
But, I mean, come on. If you're going to put it in the yearbook and be like, Harriman High won nationals, Harriman High came first in the U.S.,
but
you need to show that these kids work hard and their butts off.
It is a club sport.
But
now,
still, give them something.
No, I agree with what they did.
I think it's wrong.
Well, but and the reason
I'm not saying give them a participation trophy.
No.
Stupid,
Well, they don't. Thing is, they took state, and what did the football do?
Absolutely not.
What'd you say, Logan? They went 3-9, but they didn't get state. So the point is it won't ever be a school sanctioned sport because then if it is, then that takes the money away from the club, and they won't allow that to happen.
Yep.
Could it be a school sanctioned sport? It could.
And then prices would skyrocket.
No, actually,
no. The school board held a meeting this week. Actually, it was today. Every school sport fees are going up by. Like football, instead of $400, it's $620.
Yeah, but that's still cheaper than rugby.
Everything.
That's still cheaper than rugby, my dear. Oh, that's still cheaper than rugby because so Logan's about to go to what in
Nationals.
May Nationals. That's $1,000,
Yeah, but
and then if you go, that's another $1,000.
yes.
Minimum another $1,000. So that's what I'm saying is, if it was a school sanctioned sport, it would be cheaper than what we currently pay.
I don't know.
It would be. It totally would be. Now the only part that would be a problem for
This is making my jaw tingle. The way it's sitting.
is because you just ate that, because that doesn't change. You can close them up tighter.
I don't want them tighter. I want them looser. There. Okay.
Shannon's complaining about the
Sorry.
headphones. No, but so let's go back to this. That side subject. It is what it is. I'm I have very outspoken opinions when it comes to the school sanctioned sports stuff.
Right.
But Bentley, what are you doing?
I just got back from the park and I had fun.
Did you take him to the park, Jacob? Yeah. Okay.
Did he do his job? Good job.
Back to this. So when I was a kid, my parents put us in. We had the Scout program. Mm-hmm. Scout program was good. The Scout program went way down. I think the Scout program was, for the most part, was pretty much over after after I was a teenager. It started going down really bad, and it started changing. That's one reason. Like I like rugby, because it gives them everything that the Scout program gave us.
It does, yeah.
And there'll be some people that disagree with me when it comes to the whole. He's like, no, I'm going to sit right here. I got to be in the camera. I got to be right beside my owner. But rugby is different than the football. There has some aspects about it. I think rugby, there's more of a family aspect.
Definitely.
Versus football. There's more of every sport they want to win.
Well, I was looking at the pictures that Andrea posted of this past weekend's game that Harriman won. And every time that any of the boys made a try or an almost try, everybody from the team on was like giving them hugs, congratulations, you did awesome. They're always... They're not like, oh, you should have tried harder. That was almost in. It was, good job, man. You almost had it. That was awesome. Not like, oh, man, you could have done that.
The thing I noticed about rugby versus like football, I'd noticed that when the kids are playing, or even pros are playing, because it goes both ways, everybody wants to make a try. Everybody wants to score. But it seems like there's, with the exception of one or two that I've noticed on the field, most of them are willing to give up the ball thinking they could get the try to get the assist. Yeah. Because if someone else has a better chance of getting the try, then they do it because it's for the team. Right. And not necessarily for the one person. And then if you go to like basketball, if you think about like basketball in the 90s, Jordan was the man. Mm-hmm. Jordan got majority of the points. Right. You don't have just one person that they're looking to throw the ball to. Right. So that's kind of what I noticed. Now, one thing that I like about that you talked about this is as our child is sitting in front of the screen playing a game.
Yeah, I mean, okay. When is he in front of the screen though?
No, I agree.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at rugby.
Well,
right after rugby at weightlifting.
No, I understand.
2.5 hours.
I'm kind of making fun of that because I looked over at him when you read that. It says I pay for my kid to be outside in a field or at the gym instead of in front of the screen.
I don't remember the last time Logan was in front of a screen though, and now that he's like, I got headphones.
Yeah, he's like, I got headphones now.
In fact, he worked his butt off today, and in one day he made like $360.
Well, okay,
cleaning window wells because he's determined not only to
one thing about our kids,
school,
and this is
rugby,
beyond
but
true.
He works hard.
Our kids, we don't just give our kids money.
Nope.
We do require kids to earn money, and that's what I think Logan's done. Right. He's done. He's taken it to the. He's got a job. He works at McDonald's, but he's also gotten where Booty Muffin. Who the heck is Booty Muffin?
It's Mason.
I just looked up at the screen. Logan's playing football on the screen on the Xbox, and I see Booty Muffin's talking to you, isn't he? Oh, he's waiting for you to talk. Okay, Booty. Oh, that's funny.
Insane. So next week he'll probably make $400. So in 2 weeks, just working for 2 days.
Well, 2 days he'll make almost $800, almost $1,000.
Yeah. Elizabeth goes, Man, I wish I was brave enough to hop back in the window well, but I had to have Ethan do all the hard stuff.
All she has to do is list her bread, and she sells, $400 worth of bread in one day.
Yeah, no kidding.
So our kids are very well focused when it comes to knowing how to make money. We don't give them money so they earn it.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to rugby, and you are that proud rugby mom.
I really am.
And I think that your boys kind of hate it sometimes. But I know that they know that you love them and that you support them.
I will post photos of them. Like I gave Logan, he has until tonight to post photos that I gave him the past 2 times. My photos and Andrea's photos. Once he posts, then I'm going to post mine.
But if he doesn't post by the end of the night.
If he doesn't post by the night,
you're posting
it's
them all.
free range and I'm posting.
Right.
So.
Got it. He doesn't post every photo.
No, I know he doesn't.
He only posts what he wants to post.
But he should, because people like looking at those, especially the future.
Yeah, we're trying to get Logan to create his Instagram
and a Huddle account.
Yeah, to help focus on so people can see what he is. Because Logan, at his age, he's currently now he's about to go back to his normal age group, right?
He'll go back to the normal age group, but he will always be a sub for varsity. Or if somebody's injured, he'll always be first. Yeah.
So he's essentially been he's a ninth grader on the varsity team currently.
He's full time.
And not to brag about the kid, but the kid does focus. The kid is good. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely.
There's always room for
even he knows that. Well, it's like when, before his game the other day, he came. I told him, I said, I'll be there. When I try to be at as many games as possible. It'll be dusty when we're done. No big deal.
I know.
And so I told him, I said, all I want is you to work hard, support your team.
Yep.
And then I want you to, if you want to make the try, get the try. But if you can't get the try, pass it off. Let someone else get the try.
Yep.
Be that team player.
Yep.
And I think that's what makes up a good. Quit being needy, Bentley.
Bentley, stop. Logan, call him.
Actually, get the beeper. That's what you need. Ugh. Doesn't he have to wear the beeper, but he moves.
I just need to see it.
So, no. But though, I mean, so do I regret having my kids play rugby? No.
No way.
When we first moved here, we were going to get Jacob into play more soccer because he's a good soccer player.
He's a great soccer player. There's a team here called Forza. And
not to be confused with the game. On that, yeah.
But there's a soccer team here called Forza. And Jacob is really, really good at soccer. And when we moved here, somebody was like, oh, your kid likes soccer. It's really big here in Utah. You should have him try out for Forza. And I think we had lived here maybe like a month and a half, 2 months.
I couldn't justify it.
Yeah.
You were trying to justify it. It was going to cost, a season was going to cost us almost $5,000.
There was so many kids that tried out. And maybe a third of those kids made it, and Jacob was one of them.
But again.
And then all of a sudden we go to this meeting for parents for those kids who made it. And they're like, season is this long. You can pay this much. In total, it's going to be $5,000.
No, they didn't say $5,000.
Like,
they refused to say the big number.
Yeah,
they would only throw out. They were only throwing out the small numbers. And you saw me, and you kept poking me, telling me to stop. But
yeah, I was
every time they'd say a number,
we can do this.
I'd write a number down. And I'd put them as a note, and then I totaled it all out. And I poked you, and you're like, you didn't want to see it.
I didn't want to look. I was like, no, he just made out of all of these kids, he was in that,
But an extra $5,000 a year, just it's not justifiable.
And the thing is, I mean, he was such a good champion about it. He totally understood. He's like, yeah, Mom, that is a lot of money. And he was very young at the time. And we lived, where we moved, we had these 2 boys that played rugby for Harriman. And the boys have managed to stay friends with him and everything. And they actually got the 2 boys into playing rugby.
The thing is,
and I was like, no,
rugby's not cheap either.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's such a dangerous sport. And I'm like, no, seriously, come to a game and watch us play.
It's way better than football.
Oh, the minute I saw them play, I was like, we're signing you boys up. I'm like, don't be a chicken. And both of them have loved it since.
Well, when it comes to rugby, it's just again, it's the family aspect of it all. Mm-hmm. Those kids can be devout enemies on the field.
Yep.
but when they're done with the game, they're hanging out.
Oh yeah, even the opposing team. I mean, they're all handshaking
Well, it
afterwards.
depends on which opposing team, because there are a couple of them that they literally treat each other like garbage.
I don't know. We'll see how Saturday goes.
Are they going to be the ones on there?
East.
Is always the biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because they're big rivals, but I don't know why they're big rivals.
It's always been a big rival because East is full of
All these big pollies.
Tongans and all these.
And you get
a team of white kids who's beat.
yeah, but you guys got a good bit of a
The best-
of Polynesians on your team too.
Yeah,
now.
we do.
We have 3.
Yeah.
Oh well,
The funniest thing that I think ever has happened with Harriman is Hawaii. They're like, oh man, Harriman, they're ranked to number 1, blah, blah, blah.
the fact that they came over here.
Yeah. And what's funny is one of our boys, Lucky, had moved to Hawaii, played for that school, and that school was like, we're going to go to Utah, we're going to go to Harriman, and we're going to play Harriman, and we're going to kick their butt. And Jacob and I actually
And
saw
all the
them.
boys were nervous too, because
Oh,
those were
yeah.
some big old guys.
Yeah.
Lions were giant.
Yeah,
They were ginormous.
Yeah,
Look
we
at this.
saw them. We saw them at the. Were you with me? We saw them at the hotel. Or was it Jacob? We saw them at the hotel, and we're like, we're getting crushed tomorrow. Oh my gosh! I was like, Jacob, get home, get some sleep.
It's not
No,
about the size.
and it's really not, because before the game, they were like intimidating, and they gave us a jersey to the coach, and it was really cool
They
seeing
did a
like
haka,
they did a haka. They did all this like Polynesian culture things that you would see in Hawaii,
which was really cool.
was so cool. The game got started, and within like half of the first half, we're like,
We got this.
wow, okay, well, we're taking this home, But then like the second half started, we're like, maybe we're not. But then towards the end of the second half, Harriman's like, we're going to get this and everything. And they pulled through, and it was awesome to see that we're like, cool, we just beat an all poly team.
Well, the thing is, it all comes down to, I think, the coaches, how well the kids support each other.
So if you guys don't know, I don't know if we've ever said it, and I don't know if I'm telling the full story correctly, because our head coach for Harriman Rugby, I don't know if you guys ever seen the movie Forever Strong, but it's based on a school here in Utah up in Highland. And
Highland
Rugby, yeah. And they used to be the best of the best here in Utah.
That changed.
And that changed. But our
Very
coach
quickly.
was part of that team, and so was his dad. And that's where our coach is from. It's from Highland Rugby, and he was like, I'm going to start my own rugby program. I'm going to beat Highland. I'm going to show Highland what rugby is all about. And sure enough, the past 9 years.
Again, it comes down to good coaches.
Highland's coach.
Football's not so good as, hopefully none of the coaches hear this. Coach Brown,
Logan should come over here and be on the part of the podcast.
Right.
Coach Brown, Coach Hall are probably the only good coaches I ever.
So-
probably the only, in my opinion, are one of the only good coaches at Harriman High School for football. But when it comes to rugby, the reason why we're so good is, first off, it is because of the players. Second of all, is because the coaches are so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, we have so many
Elite coaches.
and some kids that you look at them and you're like, oh, this kid's not athletic, but when he plays on the field, he understands the game just because the coaches are so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when it comes to the coaches, the coaches need to understand where certain players should play, and they need to know how to inspire other players to get where they need to be.
Well,
And and then you also need to find the right players to help inspire other players to get where they need to be.
Yeah.
Because a coach can only do so much, but it comes down to the young man to say, listen, I know that you are good at this. And that's one thing I noticed at some of these, not just for practices, but like even some of the camps. Logan, he'll take a kid and he'll support him and say, listen, you are better
He
than
even
you
does
think.
that at school. I got
Right.
an email from the PE teacher. He's like, man, Logan was running track, and he stopped after he was done and helped this kid who,
Well, it's
what the kid, Down syndrome, Logan?
autism.
An autistic child, and Logan finished with him, and he's like, man, you can do this, keep going. And I got the most emotional email from this PE teacher telling me how amazing Logan was and everything.
Well, the thing is,
I did get a phone call today, though, from the principal.
uh-oh.
Mr. Brooks was like, Shannon, aloha. And I was like, hello. And he was like, this is Principal Brooks. I was like, I know who it is right when you called. I was like, I'm pretty sure you're asking where Logan is. He's like, I am. He's not at school. I was like, And this is why Logan is marked absent a lot, because I called the school this morning and I excused him. But look, you're calling me.
Well,
He goes, is he out for a legit reason, or is he skipping? I was like, nope, I know he's out. He goes, oh, a kid that he slept with once isn't at school, and I was just making sure Logan.
yeah, but he doesn't slough anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't slough anymore. I mean, that was like.
At least he better not. He's
no,
over there.
he doesn't. Mr. Brooks, like, it was a kid from last year. And so I was like, nope, I know where he is, and you need to check with your main office, because Logan was excused, and he's like, oh, okay. So.
Yeah, they don't do their job.
They don't.
We've been dealing with that for 3-4 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So. Back to the rugby thing. Come over here so I can hear you better. If you're going to do this, I got to be able to hear you.
Yeah.
I saw this one quote. It was, on good teams, coaches hold players accountable, but on great teams, players hold players accountable.
That's true.
And we run every single day when someone is late, because it's not because of coaches, because our captains.
It's all about accountability. But again, that's one reason I like this about. So when I was a scout, we held each other accountable on things, and we would treat, each scout would knew what needed to be done and go that route and everything. But yeah, it's about the accountability, and that's what I like about it. So anyway, we could talk about this for hours. I know you could, but
Yeah, definitely could.
anyway, what do you guys do? Let us know what you guys do to help your kids support each other. How do you support your kids? How you get your kids to support other people? And do you believe that sports are the way, or do you think there's another way to do it? I think it's time for. There's been a big movement against people and men, but it's time to let men be men. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody does well, and we will talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Hurry, please jump to my side, because I can't stop, won't stop. Case on Fridays.